Yo, yo, yo.
What's up?
What's going on? Sunday service. Happy Sunday, everybody. I am so excited. Can you hear me okay, Matt? I just rearranged my setup here. Just want to make sure.
Yeah, am I echoing at all? Are we good?
Nope.
We're
Yep.
good? I hear you.
Good.
It's beautiful.
Awesome.
Sounds good.
Awesome. Well, great. Well, everybody, happy Sunday. Glad to have everyone here tonight. We have Pace is finishing up his air meet that he was doing. So, he will be here in a little bit. But we are going to get started on a very special topic tonight. But before I do want to make the quick announcements for those of you that are joining for the first time here on Sunday service. Letting you know we do Sunday service every Sunday night, 7 p.m. Arizona time. I know all of you in other states here in the U.S., y'all are changing your times with different times of the year. We don't do that, so we just keep it easy and keep it 7 p.m. Arizona time. So if you're ever wondering, we are also on Spotify. We are on iTunes. So if you're listening in or if you want to listen in to past episodes, you can always jump onto either of those platforms and be able to catch up on anything that you had missed. And finally, I also do want to announce that we are officially sponsored. Sunday service is officially sponsored by the Batch Service of Products. So Batchleads is sponsoring Sunday service. Really, we've just continued giving away lists on Sunday service, and they've been seeing us do it. And they're like, hey, would you guys just like us to, help out with that cost on the list that you guys give away? Because it's bringing us business, and, we're happy, we're excited about it. And I'm like, yeah, that would be awesome. If we didn't have to spend our own money to promote this thing. So
Unbelievable.
Yeah. So Batchleads, quick shout out to them for, hooking us up there. And just so everybody knows, we do talk about Batchleads on here a lot. Batchleads, you can pull lists, you can skip trace your lists, you can comp properties and underwrite to evaluate deals in there. You could also do text marketing, which is going to be the topic of discussion this evening on Sunday service. And what else can we do on Batchleads, Matt? I'm trying to think if I'm missing anything.
All the things you can do on Batchleads.
Yeah.
I mean, Batch has basically what they've built over there is a business in a box where you can do everything you basically need in your real estate investing business, especially as a solopreneur, to start getting deals. So they've really made it where there's no excuses.
Awesome. Yeah, no, 100%. So, everybody, I'm going to just post this on here for you. If you haven't checked out Batchleads, then we'll jump into it. Batchleads.io/Sunday. Awesome. So, for those of you that may be tuning in for the first time, you're like, who the heck is this Cody guy? Who's this Matt guy on here? And where the heck is Pace at? What's going on? So, my name's Cody Barton here in Phoenix, Arizona. We've been running Sunday service for the last few years. We have myself and Pace. We run this every Sunday. We have Matthew Beard as our special guest tonight, and we're going to be talking about doing text marketing, lead generation, and really the pros and cons to that lead generation strategy. And we're also going to be talking about some of the best practices as well. So Matt, I'm going to just, brag on Matt a little bit before we get started. So Matt, had been working as an appraiser before he got into, the investment side of the business, became a real estate agent, started doing well at that right off the bat, but realized, just like most real estate agents do, I got into real estate to invest in real estate, not just represent buyers and represent sellers. I want to invest. I want to, make larger amounts of cash on these deals. And so found, the investing side, and, literally within a few months was doing multiple deals a month. And, now over these last couple of years has, done, I don't know how many hundreds of deals in his business. And so, a great friend of mine and Pace's as well. And so, he is an expert at acquisition, an expert at actually getting deals under contract, and the strategy behind the lead generation in doing so. So without further ado, Matt, let's go ahead and jump into this tonight, man. I know there's a lot of people that, listen in that maybe don't even know, people that haven't gotten their first deal. Put a comment in the comment section if you're like, put a yes if you want to get your first deal. You haven't done your first deal yet, but put a yes if you have not gotten a deal. So I want to see, who our audience is looking like this evening, and then we'll dive in here. Matt, how's your day, man?
Bro, awesome. I love Sundays. This is the day I get to spend with my family because you know how it is during the week. We're all crazy hectic all the time. So I love Sunday, but most importantly, this Sunday special because I get to come back on here with you guys. Obviously, I love to do this. Cody really hyped me up. I'm not, I appreciate that, but I've been able to learn and grow a lot in the last couple of years, and a lot of it is because of this. I alluded to it last time. Is the stuff that I learned from you guys, learn from Pace and Sunday Service. You guys are definitely in the right place. But as you're here, please be sure to participate in the chat, right? You're going to get out what you put in, right? And with these learning sessions, I want to challenge you guys as we go through, and we're going to talk about SMS and generating leads and getting deals done and doing all this cool stuff. But I challenge you guys, have a notepad out, take notes. Don't just have this playing in the background while you have something else going on and your mind wanders, because you're not going to get anything out of it. You're just going to listen to this for an hour and you're like, oh, cool. All right, I'll tune in next week, right? But these are the episodes that are like super information dense. Do something with it. So please, guys, be sure to be here and be all in the next hour. Is that cool? Is everybody okay with doing that?
Yes, sir. Dude, there's so many yeses. I mean, I've seen probably a couple dozen yeses of people that are, haven't done their first deal, wanting to get their first deal. So this is a very timely Sunday service to talk about that.
In the right place.
Marina says, I have a couple rentals and want to move over to wholesaling. That's awesome. John, you guys are amazing. Thank you for doing all this.
Or just do more. Like, I think rental properties is, definitely, buy more rental properties. Cody and I was just talking about this earlier, right? Wholesale more, make more money. So then you can go buy more rental properties, right? So it's just doing right? It's doing a little bit of both.
Yes, 100%. I mean, here's I'm going to give you guys a quick secret that don't have rental properties. You wholesale properties and fix and flip properties to then buy rentals and buy Airbnbs. So then you exhaust all of your cash that you made wholesaling and fix and flipping so you can go buy more rentals and more Airbnbs, and you just keep doing that. And then you wake up one time and, multiple after some years passed and you're like, wow, there's a lot of properties now and there's actually cash flow here. This is crazy.
I got money. I guess we did something, right? But for a long time, it's like watching paint dry, right? You're like, keep investing your profits. Cody, so you're telling me you can't go buy a private jet from your first couple of flips and finance that? Come on.
I wish. So let's get into it. I'm going to ask you some questions on this just because I know, there's, first of all, we've talked about lead generation on Sunday service a few times. And here's the thing, is there's a lot of different ways to generate leads. And so what we're going to talk about specifically narrowed in on is texting to generate your leads. But there's texting, you could do cold calling, you could do direct mail, you can do PPC. For those of you that are like, what the heck is PPC? It's pay-per-click, like Google Ads. You can do SEO. That is like search engine optimization. There's a lot of different, you could do bandit signs, you could do driving for dollars to generate your leads. There's so many different ways.
Exactly. But what we're talking about here tonight, I think is going to resonate with everyone, including the people who've never done a deal before. Because still, to this day, all these years later, SMS continues to crush. Like text message marketing continues to crush just about everything else, right? And I think when you guys start thinking about your marketing, sure, of course, you need to take into cost into consideration, but anybody can do texting. You don't have to have a virtual assistant to do this for you. Now, of course, that's something to grow into. You should, right? Just because you can doesn't mean you should. But of course, in the beginning, you're wearing all the hats until you can graduate and wear the bigger one. But still, to this day, SMS is something you guys should be doing regardless, because we've seen more and more regulations get put on this thing, but still, it crushes just about everything. So tonight, guys, you will leave this live session, you will leave Sunday service with clear action items to take advantage of what is in front of you. This is an opportunity that you don't want to pass this up. like over the next couple of years, maybe I don't know, maybe the end of this year, maybe it's 2023, maybe it's 2025. I don't know. But at some point in time, you will not be able to reach homeowners as easily as you can right now with the text message. So this is powerful stuff, guys.
Awesome. So let's go, right into, texting. So I don't want to get into, as much into every single different platform and, confuse everyone with that tonight. Obviously, you can text on Batchleads. There's other platforms that you can do it on as well. But when it comes to the actual messaging and then what the heck do I say? When do I call them? How do I know if they're somebody I should waste my time with? Like, what are, let's kind of talk through that, Matt. So I'm going to play newbie here, and I'm going to ask you, I was born yesterday and I need to know all the things. So I got my text platform, whether I'm using Batchleads, whether I'm using launch control, whatever platform that I'm going to be using, I have my platform. I have some data. I've skip traced some people. What now? What? How many people do I need to text to get a deal? What do I even say? I don't know anything. How do I get started with this thing, man?
Right. So for tonight and for Sunday service, I think we make it very specific around Batchleads because there are, like you said, there's a lot of different platforms and they all have different ways of setting up campaigns. But time and time again, I'm going to show you guys our admin account, our test account we have for you guys tonight. But I'm going to show you some stuff, and this stuff works, right? And I'm going to show you just a blueprint and giving you guys a checklist to actually have actionable items. So tonight is going to be very specific on one tool because there are a plenty, and we don't have enough time because I can sit here and talk for the next 8 hours on every single different SMS platform. But I know Batchleads work, and I'm going to show you guys how to set that up. I mean, Cody, if that's cool with you, because there is so many different ways we can go here.
Yeah, I'm good with that. I don't know anything, so you lead the way.
Awesome. So for SMS, you guys already have your list, right? So from last week, you guys watched Sunday service. You saw us pull a list, Pace paid for it, right then and there. He added money to his account and it's like, boom, okay, here's $700, here's $1,000, and this is for you guys, so everybody can have it. So you should, at the very minimum, already have a list. And you should already have it skip traced, right? Some of you guys are like, okay, I've already done this part, but bare minimum.
Skip trace. Whoa. What's the difference between list and a skip trace list? What's just for those that are here and there, it's this is blowing their minds.
Right. Well, some people's like, I've been doing fix and flips and I don't know anything about this skip tracing you're talking about. Right.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, there's a lot of folks in different places. So let's talk about that real quick. A list is just simply a list of addresses that fit your criteria that you're looking for, right? And when we're marketing to a situation. So you saw us pull a list of pre-foreclosures. You could also pull a list of probate. You can also pull a list of liens. You can pull a list of tired landlords in batch. All this stuff, again, can be done in Batchleads, and we did that last Sunday. But ultimately, your list is people that fit the situation you're looking for, right? And this is how we can spend more money. Well, I wouldn't say spend more money. This is how we can beat the people that spend more money in your market, right? This is how you beat the iBuyers. A lot of you guys are like, well, I'm in Atlanta, Georgia. I'm in Charlotte. I'm in Phoenix. How can I get a deal? Isn't it just too congested? There's too many wholesalers. There's too many big buyers. Guys, that's where you want to be, because when you get a deal there, that thing's going to fly. You get a deal in the competitive markets, you have the gold, right? So I challenge you guys, that's the places you don't want to be. You don't want to be in the podunk, nothing's happening, 500 people population deals. Hey, I got a deal for $500. I'm like, cool, no one wants it, right? You want to be places where, just like Pace, I was on the air meet, you want to find the buyer first, right? So as you go into these markets, we're marketing to people that I know what they're looking for. Right. And that's what my situation is. That's what's on my list. Now, when I skip trace that list, that's the process. I might be freezing here a little bit. Am I back? Am I good?
You're good.
But when I skip trace that situation or that people on those lists, I'm getting their phone numbers. Right. So now, once I get phone numbers, sometimes it comes back with email addresses. Sometimes it comes back with their best mailing address. All I'm trying to do is figure out how I can reach these people on my list. That's the most simple way to think about it. I have these people. Now, how can I reach them? How can I talk to that person? Because going back to what Brent Daniel says is the truth. It's the most basic thing. If you guys want to break this business down to the granular, most basic of the basics, is we got to talk to more people every single day. It's literally that simple. So I have all these people that are my driving for deals list, my pre-foreclosures list, whatever. None of that matters if we don't try to reach out to them, if we don't try to talk to them, right? So we get their phone numbers via skip tracing. And you guys saw last week, I think Batch was like at our account level, it was like 10 cents per record. So depending on like your guys' use, of course they have different tiers, but depending on your use, it's either 10 cents for their highest level, or I believe it's like $99 a month for their basic stacking service plus 10,000 records. And under that package, I believe it's 14 cents a record. So depending on where you're at, that's what you're looking at. Does that make sense, everybody? Cody, does that make sense too?
I think it makes sense to me. It makes sense to me.
Beautiful. Okay, so after we have that stuff, right? We have the phone numbers, we have the information we want for our situation. Man, it's time to do what we can to get in front of them. So let's think of the most scalable options, right? You got to ask yourself. This is important as we get into this. We got to ask ourselves, like, what is the most cost-effective way to get in front of these people? Some of you guys have a budget and no time, and some of you guys have zero budget and you have more time than someone else who does have the money, right? And if you don't have the budget and you don't have a time, then you want to get another job that pays you more money, right? Period. So then you can get a bigger budget. But basically, that's where you guys are going to be at, right? And after we get their phone numbers, we got to decide, okay, do I want to cold call? I hated cold calling. I never wanted to cold call, so I got a virtual assistant to help me with that, right? So the other way is you also send them text messages. Like you guys heard Pace talk about last week, there's no difference. There's not a cold call list and an SMS list. It's the same thing, right? These lists are married together because it goes back to that idea of what can I do to get in touch with this person that fits my situation that I'm marketing for.
So why would you call a list if you've already texted it, or vice versa? Why would you also, why would you want to text it if you've already called that list a few times? Like, wouldn't you just be bothering these people, or what's the situation with that?
I think for us, we feel like we're bothering someone, but the reality is sometimes that text message doesn't even get delivered. Sometimes they even got your phone number, especially with the carriers now. Maybe their phone never rang, or maybe they had 3 calls from a random phone number. I wouldn't answer that, right? But when we're cold calling, of course, we're relying on a lot of different things, right? We're relying on to catch someone at the right time, the right day, they answer their phone number from someone they never talked to before, and we're going to have a meaningful conversation about their property, right? That happens. Obviously, that's how we get leads. But let's go to the other majority of people who never answer the phone from a strange person. So we got to send them a text. And do you think one text is going to be enough? No. We'll follow back up tomorrow. Hey, just checking back in. Or isn't that annoying? Absolutely not. We will do that until we get a response, right? Now, when someone says never message me again, or you got the wrong phone number, of course, I'm not going to continue to message them, right? But I need to get at least an answer because these people fit my situation. I'm trying to get in front of them. I just need to get a yes or a no. That's it, guys. We take that list and we funnel it down. Just imagine a prospector looking for just that piece of gold. I got a big clump of sand here and I'm sifting through it, trying to find the gold. I'm okay with the people who say, no, that's cool. We're not the right fit. That's all right. No. Ooh, maybe. Okay, let me take them to the next level, right? So that's the idea here. All we're doing is trying to put ourselves in the best position to talk to these people that fit our list. So we call them and we text them. Does that make sense?
Yeah, 100%. So you're hitting them from all angles to give yourself the best shot. Something I just want to, chime in on that as well, guys, is you're also understanding like the dynamic of some of the people you're reaching out to. They're different types of people. Like Matt mentioned, think about like, and I know there's going to be some folks that are like in their 60s on here probably that are going to, yell at me for this. But a lot of the times you're more likely with a cold call going to reach someone in an older demographic and get them to pick up the phone than the younger demographic. on the other side, a lot of times you're going to have some of that younger demographic that'll actually text back versus some of the older demographic. Like if you texted my grandpa's phone, you ain't ever getting texted back. You like RIP. If I texted my grandpa that I was dying on the side of a mountain, I RIP. Like, but if I call them, there's a shot to reach them, So that's what we have to understand is like different people have different habits of how they like to communicate with the world, whether it's from a cold reach out versus just someone that's their friend or family or whatnot.
100%. So again, we always think it always goes back to the list. It goes back to the situation. Who's on my list here? Of course, I don't care if it's elderly or pre-foreclosure. I'm still going to call and text them either way, because there will be some folks who answer text and not a call, and vice versa. But if I go back to my list being, I don't know, realtors, and I'm reaching out to realtors, I'm going to call them because they're more than likely going to pick up a phone call from a strange person because it might mean business, right? I love the idea of calling realtors. That's a great list to go harder on calling, and of course do your texting. But again, we live in a day and age where if you can and it makes sense, you might as well do both. You already got the phone numbers, right? But a simple, scalable solution that is something you could do right away, that's not going to cost you a ton of money, is SMS. And that's the power of what we're talking about tonight. So really, guys, step one, and I'm just going to share my screen real quick because I alluded to here in a second, like a little bit ago, there is more regulations put on texting now more than ever. So if you're going to use Batchleads as your platform, again, there's so many. And what Batchleads is doing is kind of future forward here. So other platforms that haven't implemented this yet, you best believe is coming, right? But what Batchleads have done is you have to register your phone numbers with what's called a 10 DLC. So that's not something that we're going to go too heavy in tonight, but I'll at least show you guys what this looks like, okay? So I'm just going to show you this tab here. Bam. So, Cody, can you see this?
Yep.
Awesome.
Got it out.
So this is under your user settings. So after you pay for a user account in Batch and you get set up, you're actually going to get an account manager. So ours is Janet. And Janet would be there to support us with anything we need. We can give her a call, shoot her an email. But if we had any questions, she's there to help. But what's going to happen is your step one that you're going to do is I hope that you would come in here and reach out to your account manager. What's cool is once you sign up for Batchleads, they're going to ask you when you want to do your onboarding. Please, with every ounce of my being, do the onboarding. It will you'd be surprised how many folks will buy a service just like this that has all these features that is literally mind-blowing and will easily bog you down in the details if you don't do the onboarding. The onboarding is there and is designed to get you up and running as fast as possible. So please, you guys get this. You will have an account manager and they will do an onboarding. And on that onboarding, now again, I'm not going to go crazy into detail tonight on Sunday service. They will help you set up your markets just like you see here that we have, right? And then you see this tab over here that says 10 DLC. They will walk you through this process of getting this started, right? You would set up your own 10 DLC company name, right? You have to set up a brand. So if you're a company, hopefully you guys have already reached out to the awesome people at PCS and have an LLC, but you would set this up as your brand, and then you would add a campaign, right? You'll see, how do I register my brand? What is 10 DLC? How do I set this up with carriers? What is the idea with the campaigns? Why do I need to do that? Again, Batch is being a little bit future forward here and doing this on the up and up. So that way you can scale your SMS marketing and not consistently have to worry about your phone numbers getting spammed and them have negative activity going on their platform. You do it this way, you're going to be compliant. So yes, there might be an extra step or two, but know that they have the support in place to make sure that you can get it done, right? So this is something you're going to have to figure out on your own because I can't even figure this out. I had to get someone to help me set all this up. And that is why they have the support there. And of course they have they have a library. I'll show you guys too. The library is right here. So literally under the support tab, you will see an entire library of things. Here's a knowledge base of how to use every little thing. So if you're ever wondering campaigns, wow, there's a lot of stuff here related to campaigns. They even do direct mail. So they have videos and walkthroughs and step-by-steps for every little thing you can imagine in your Batchleads account. So you don't have to go wondering. I don't know how many hours they have spent over there putting all this together, but it's made specifically for this reason, so you guys don't have to figure this out. Okay? Does that make sense? So step one is for that reason. Okay? You're going to want to get on. If you go through Batchleads, you will have an account manager. You will schedule an onboarding with them. So yeah, you may not be able to set it up tonight at 8:30 p.m., but maybe you get your onboarding tomorrow morning and they hop on with you. It takes maybe 30 minutes to an hour of going through all the little things that you're going to need to get done. You say, hey, Janet, or whoever your account manager is, I just want to get my SMS going. What do I need to do? Oh, she's going to be like, okay, great. Let's just skip right to that. Okay, let's get your market set up. Let's get your 10 DLC done. Perfect. We will now link your accounts. There's other integrations that's going to happen, but again, they will hold your hand to make sure that's done. With these platforms out there, I don't care who you go through. You can go through Batch, REI Reply. You can go through Launch Control. You go through all these places. They are feature rich. So for folks who are like, man, I just thought I was going to buy some rental properties. I got into real estate investing and do wholesaling. I didn't know I had to be figuring out all this tech stuff. They have the support at Batch to make sure you guys aren't figuring this out on your own. Does that make sense? Is that fair enough?
Yes, sir. Yeah, super, super helpful. So, and again, guys, like realize, like, you don't need to know, and you don't need to be an expert into every system. I know I'm kind of known as like the integrator personality, but like even with like new systems that will learn, I typically just learn enough to be dangerous, and I don't know how to use it. I don't know every single feature of every single tab and what every single little thing does. It's just learn enough to where you can do what you need to do in your business. That's really it.
Bam. Literally, that's it. I love that. I don't need to know how to do, especially me. I'm all over the place. But like you can, again, just learn everything that you need to know to be dangerous. I love that line.
Yep.
If there's a line for tonight, do what you need to do to be dangerous. That's it.
Yes, 100%. So say we have it set up. Now, we're going to actually start sending out some messages. Like I saw a good question that came up here that I think we can get to. Christian Lopez Garcia says, when you text, you usually write a full script, or like what the hell am I saying to these people now? Like I have a list. I have some sort of platform that I'm going to be sending out messages from. Now, what do I say? Hashtag send news.
Cody,
like, what am I saying?
I swear it's like you have my notes right beside you, because I wrote notes before this, and this is step 2. How do you know this is a perfect segue? So step 2 is having your template set up, right? And for those of you guys who are like, what in the heck is templates? Let's look at that together. Okay, so within the Batch platform, we'll pull it back up.
This is usually the same within most platforms. So if you're using another text platform, this will transfer over pretty well. How do I make this? Here we go.
Can you see me okay? We're good?
Yeah, we could see it. Can you zoom in a little bit on there?
Well, that's too short. That's too zoomed in. I don't know. I'll try to. But basically, is that good?
Yeah, that looks good. Yeah.
Okay.
That's it right there.
So, guys, we actually had pre-made templates written up. So if you guys just want a copy and paste file, I think this is something we could put together for you guys here on Sunday service as a freebie, and we can put it on Pace's website. Is that cool? Think we can do that, Cody?
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Cool. So what you would do within the Batch platform, you can see we were just over on the markets here, right? We did the 10 DLC, the markets. There's another tab that says SMS Templates, and this is your step 2. You're going to want to have 10 different messages, and what happens is in your Batch SMS platform, it's going to randomly select one of these templates to be the first message it sends out. So this is our realtor outreach. This is the templates on that, right? We have 10. Happy to give you guys our 10 messages we send out to realtors, right? And we also have one for just our general direct to seller. So yes, we text both. And the idea here, and again, happy to share this with you, or if you go back, you just pause the video right here. I'm sure you can write it down. But our 10 messages are simple as, hey, do you have a second to chat? Did I mention the property? Did I mention offer? Did I mention, do you want to sell? No. And the reason is, guys, is I just want someone to respond to my text. So then I can open up everything else, right? I can open up offer, sell. Do you want to sell 123 Main Street? Whatever. Because what happens on your initial text, on your campaigns, there are certain words that are already flagged by carriers. So if you mention the word sell or offer or cash or out of the blue, like Batch does really good with keeping track of those keywords, and they have that on their support center. So that way you know the keywords that are flagged. But you don't want to put those in your first initial message because it's not going to get delivered. Like, what in the world happened? I thought I texted my entire list of 5,000 people, but I didn't get any leads. Well, how many of those text messages actually got delivered to that person's phone, right?
So what you're saying is I shouldn't just send like a paragraph on my first message that I send a seller.
Correct. Ideally, that's a no, right? If I got a text message as a paragraph, no, right?
So and I should try to avoid saying out of the blue. Just a tip, guys, don't ever say anything related to COVID in your messages either. Like me just saying that on YouTube probably just destroyed our algorithm for the next like month. So, you know, that's something
COVID, you guys know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. So you want to stay away from some of those trigger words, you know, sell, you know, out of the blue. What are the other trigger words that are not good to say in the first message?
Well, I know offer, all cash, sell, like a lot. Again, what happens is marketers ruin everything, right? So the stuff that was amazing 2 years ago, and yes, it worked, it doesn't work now. And the reason is carriers picked up negative activity because, look, they want to create the best possible experience for people when they slide open their phone, and they want people scrolling and using their phone. They don't want people getting messages and they're getting complaints directly to the carrier. Why are you letting these messages come to me? I'm going to go to a different carrier who's going to block this stuff, right? So they're going to do the best they can to protect their consumer. So with that being said, we try to structure these messages to be short, easy to read, something that looks as just normal human communication, right? Just like you would talk to a friend or a family member or maybe an acquaintance, whatever, something easy and easy to read, right? Someone can just like on their lock screen, they can see it on their lock screen. It's not like ... There's a lot of stuff there, right? So with that being said, this is our 10. These are our 10 messages that Batchleads would actually cycle through and send out. Hey, do you have a second chat? Hi, maybe we can connect today about your place. Hey, just reaching out about 123 Main Street. Do you have a second? Hi, do you know anything about 123? Right? So, hey, is whatever, right? So like you can see these messages are easy to read and people like they get the idea of what we're trying to do here. But what happens is after
I want to interrupt you real quick, Matt, because something that I want people to understand from this is they're seeing these messages, like just different examples of messages to send out to people. I think what people need to also understand is if everybody on this entire, you know, Sunday service right now goes and copies all of the messaging that we're doing and starts using those same messages, carriers are probably going to start picking up on these and they're going to need to change. So how often, you know, and then we can jump back to what you were going through. How often should you be kind of changing up your text messaging as you're doing this?
Well, I mean, it would be wise, and I think it also depends on your volume. If you're just getting started, maybe you can keep these templates for a couple months. But if you're sending out 1,000 text messages a day, maybe you want to change it every month, right? So I think it depends on your volume, but of course, just good practice is to go in there and change those things. And what we do is typically we check to see what our deliverability is. And right, I can run reports on Batchleads and I can see, okay, I sent 1,000 text messages, 700 got delivered, right? And of the 700 that got delivered, I had X amount of response rate, right? So I had 70 people respond to my text, right? So, okay, well, I think that can be better. I want to shoot for 15%, right? So maybe I need to go tweak my templates. But if I'm doing this and my first batch, I'm sending 1,000 and 700 got delivered or 800 got delivered and I got, 160 responses, that was 20%. That's pretty good. But all of a sudden, after doing this for a month, I see that number dip and my responses go down tremendously. Okay, I need to go in and let me fix my templates, right? So I think, guys, just as good practice at the very minimum, every other month, But if you're sending a bunch of text messages, it might just be good practice to do it every month.
Love
Does that
it.
make
Thank
sense?
you for that. Yeah, that's super
Yeah.
helpful because I want people to understand that. Because I know for me, if I was texting and I was just sending those same messages and then it just suddenly just stopped working as well, I'd be like, what? Like, why is it just not working now? So just giving
Right.
some context for like what the heck to do with that. This is super funny. Just seeing a lot of the people that were on an air meet with Pace earlier, have all been diving in. We're here, coming in hot.
Coming in hot. Hey,
Hey,
did Pace end up getting that deal from Ryan? Because it looked to be a pretty solid deal. He said he wants to know that it's going to turn into an Airbnb or something. So,
I have no idea. I don't know I don't know what he's doing.
yo,
Keep up with
Airbnb
him.
people here. I love it. So, guys, we're in the thick of it. So, if you're just joining us, we're talking about SMS marketing,
We're in
how
the
to get
mud
deals.
already.
Yeah, we're in it. We are in it. But you can go back and listen to this on Spotify and iTunes.
Spotify and iTunes.
There you go. I love it. So, so that was step 2, guys. The SMS templates, having 10. Is everyone okay for us giving those templates to you guys, or y'all don't want the templates, or who here wants the templates? If you want the templates, just say yes in the chat. Yes in the chat if you want the SMS templates, because if you do, we will make sure that the team adds those to Pace's website where you can just go over there and download them. Is that cool? Yes. Marina, what's up? Victor, my
There's
God.
only a few people that said yes. Oh wait, now there's some more. Okay, now we got the yes. We got some yeses coming in.
Bam. I got a little hell yeah in there too. I can't
Hell
say it 'cause
yeah.
I'm YouTube.
Oh, it's
I don't
on
know if
YouTube.
this is for
Crap.
kids.
It's gonna screw up the algorithm. That's one of
You
the
gotta watch
naughty words to say on YouTube.
Yes, gotta be careful. Gotta be careful. All right, so now that we have our templates, guys, okay, so we did the onboarding with Batch. Please, if you guys have specific questions regarding Batch, or I don't know how to set this up, or Cody, can you tell me how to upload my templates? Please, I guarantee there is resources in the support under Batchleads where you're going to get an answer way faster. Right? And you also have an account manager over there that's there to help you guys too. Cool?
Cool.
So I
Heck
saw
yeah.
heck yeah. So I saw someone comment, it's like, yeah, but don't send 1,000 messages at once, because that's probably not good. So again, let's think about human activity. Like, how many text messages can you send an hour, Cody?
I mean, it depends how
It
upset I
depends.
am potentially, how excited I am about something potentially. It depends on the
Yes.
situation. But
Right.
generally, I think I think the number is right around like 80 to 100 texts an hour. I think it is. I could be wrong. Does that sound right? It's been a couple months since I brushed up on it.
Yeah, no, because I remember you did an interview with
With
Evo on
Evo,
this. Yeah,
yeah.
and I believe he said 80 is a safe number, and I think upwards to 100. So
Mhm.
what that means is if you guys have a phone number, which you will, you would set all this up in batch with your account manager. With that phone number, you don't want to send any more than 80 to 100 text messages per hour per phone number. And I will go to say you probably don't want to send near that many either. What I like to do is five messages per hour per phone number. So I'll work my way backwards, right? And this is step 3. When you guys are setting up your campaigns in Batchleads, it gives you the option of, okay, I need to pull the phone numbers from somewhere. Okay, now that you have your list, all of you guys that are watching, you have your list, and your account manager will walk you through with adding that to a campaign. You want to have enough phone numbers to text whatever your volume is, right? So if you're like, I want to send for 8 hours a day, so between 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., I want to send 1,000 text messages, right? So how many text messages is that per hour? Let's go here. I'm going to pull out my calculator. So if I want to send 1,000
Mm-hmm.
and for 8 hours, that means I'm going to send 125 per hour,
125
right?
per hour.
Yep. So if my goal is to send 1,000 text messages a day, right? And I have 8 hours a day, I'm gonna send 125 per hour. Now, I don't want to send 125 text messages from just one phone number, right? I don't want to send 120 texts from just 2 phone numbers or 3 or 4 or 5. I want to send at most 5 messages per hour per phone number. So this way, guys, and this is important to get, and I can't like stress this enough. Your phone numbers is everything when it comes to telemarketing or doing any sort of marketing over the phone or via text message, right? If your phone number is marked spam, whoever's on the other line is never, ever, 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 ever going to get your message or phone number or phone call. So in essence, you burn through all your data. You don't know what data is good or bad if you have wrong phone numbers, simply because when you try to reach out to them, they're never getting your message or your phone call because on your end, your phone numbers are marked spam, right? So in order to mitigate that risk, it's better to just have more phone numbers from the get-go, okay? So if I want to send 1,000 text messages, which is 125 messages on an 8-hour shift, does everybody get how I did the math there?
Let's start it again, and I'll write it in the comment section for everybody. So what do we got? We got 1,000. We want to send 1,000 text messages, right?
1,000 text messages is what we're going for the day. Now, guys, again, tweak this to your budget as you need. Some of you guys are like, I can afford. Because again, when you're working this, you want to think about how much money can you spend for the month. Okay, if I'm sending 1,000 text messages, go ahead, Cody.
I was going to say, you guys, we're just giving an example here. We're not saying this is the only way to do this, or you need to do more, or you need to do less. Adjust for your situation. We're giving just a sample. Like, hey, this is generally adjust based on your budget, whether you're texting 5 days a week, 2 days a week, 3 days a week, you know, whatever that looks like.
You guys cool with us just giving you numbers based on easy math? This is the easy math phone number.
Can we make it hard? What if we sent like 1,724 text messages? Like, can we just do it, make it more complicated?
Something very specific. Let's do a case study. But let's do it. Okay. So put it in the chat, Cody. We got 1,000 text messages we're going to send on tomorrow. Let's just say we're sending 1,000 text messages tomorrow. So do I send 1,000 text messages all at once? Absolutely not.
No.
You want to spread that out throughout the day. Okay. So 1,000 text messages, I take that as like, okay, well, if I have a full-time shift, let's just say I have a virtual assistant managing my text messages. Okay, what is their full-time shift? Okay, they're going to work 9 to 5. Regardless, whatever time zone you guys are in, daylight saving time, doesn't matter, whatever, 9 to 5 for your local area. Okay, that's 8 hours. So I'm going to take 1,000, I'm going to divide it by 8. Okay, so 1,000 divided by 8 is 125. So 125 text messages need to be sent out from my campaigns, whether that be me sending them or my virtual assistant sending them. Okay, 125 per hour. Now, when you are going through your Batchleads onboarding, they're going to help you with your integrations. And like I was stressing, the importance of having enough phone numbers so you know that your deliverability is going to be high. So you're going to be able to talk to more people because we know that's the key. We need to have more phone numbers. And it's such a worthwhile investment. Don't go cheap on the phone numbers, guys. Please, 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 please. Buy enough phone numbers. It's the most important thing. Okay? So we're going to take that 125 text messages per hour. Remember, I only want to send 5 text messages per phone number. Okay? So I'm going to take that 125 and I'm going to divide it by 5 to see how many phone numbers do I need to send 5 text messages per hour from to get to that 125 mark. And that number is 25.
25.
Right? So when you guys are buying phone numbers in bulk from Batchleads, you are going to want to get 25 phone numbers if your goal is 1,000. Now, work the numbers accordingly depending on your budget. I think Batch charges like $0.015 per text message. So if you guys are working with a budget of, I want to spend $500 this month, then you probably don't want to send 1,000 text messages a day. You're going to spend your entire budget in 1 week. Okay? So go back and think about your budget when you were doing these things. But for the example we just gave you was based on 1,000 text messages per day. Okay? I don't have Tony counts on here to do our bookkeeping and show you guys an expense report of what that's going to look like on a 30-day projection. But I will just give you an example of how you need to set it up. Is that cool?
Love it. Love it. This is awesome. So I just have to comment. A couple people are commenting. I did remove someone from our chat. If you get on Sunday service and start talking crap about, the way that we do things on here, pound sand. You can go be somewhere else and do something else on your Sunday night. We're here to bring value. We want to help. And, we try to do the things that are going to be able to help people that are kind of newer and getting things started in the business. And so, that's what we're here to do, taking time away from our families and the time that we could just be chilling. But we're here to,
learn how to generate more leads in your business. Cause we get a lot of yeses early on in here of people who want to learn the best practices of generating leads. If you're wanting to learn something about seller finance, I guarantee Pace has at least 200 videos on this channel about seller finance. Cool.
We do all the boring stuff. This is in the weeds. We get into the weeds on stuff here. So I'm gonna throw it up on the screen here for you guys. This is just, if you want to make a note on this, obviously, again, you could use different text platforms. It doesn't matter. Like we're saying Batchleads. There's literally probably half a dozen decent texting platforms you can use. We're just giving, whatever you're using, the strategy behind the amount of messages to send and whatnot. So now that we've kind of talked about that a little bit more, Matt, and what we're doing and kind of the reason behind that, again, the reason we're talking about sending not that many text messages per phone number is because the carriers are smart. T-Mobile is smart. AT&T, Verizon, they all have became very smart, and they have softwares that are checking the frequency of how many messages a phone number is sending out to be able to identify whether that's probably spam or not. And so that's why we're talking about this, because for those of you, especially that don't have a large budget, I don't want to see you go blow your load and all your money on sending all of your text messages in one day, burning all of your phone numbers, and you didn't even deliver to people in the first place, and now you're frustrated. That's why we wanted to spend so much time talking on this point. But let's go to the next step. All right, so now we've sent out some messages. What the heck now, Matt?
Yep. So you guys got enough phone numbers to send the amount of text messages that you want to send. Again, the goal is to not just go through all of your messages or send as many texts you can as fast as you can. You got to be able to get with your leads as they come in. That's why that 100 to 125 per hour is a good number, because let's just say you hit that 20% response rate, which is a good number. So if you send 100 to 125, you're looking at, what is the number, Cody? 20 to 25 people responding, right? Of the 20 to 25 people that are responding, it's important to get back to them as soon as you can. And most of those people are going to be saying, no, thank you, take me off your list, never again. Some other really nice words that we can't say on YouTube, and other things of that nature, right? So, but there will be some in there that are going to give you a response of, what's your offer? How much can you pay? I want X amount of money. Give me $200,000. Yeah, I'd sell it. Or it's a family member's. Who's asking? Or, like something along those lines that at least warrants a further conversation. Okay. So after you send out those text messages, you get your responses, you can respond to them in a timely manner. Now it's important to further those conversations. So yes, of the 20 to 25 people that responded to you, you're going to have some people that are, told you no and all that other stuff, but maybe you have 2 or 3 people per hour that you're going to need to respond to fast, right? So you don't want to overdo it either to where you can't respond to them, or maybe you get caught up in something, or you're working a 9-to-5 job and you just sent all these text messages before you went into work and you can't respond to them until 5 p.m. Like, you're going to lose all the opportunities that you potentially have from a text message that came earlier in the morning, right? You want to be able to get back to them as fast as you can. So that's where a virtual assistant comes in. But I do want to make sure you guys at least know for sure that you got to get back with these people fast, right? But the goal for SMS is we're just trying to find people that are raising their hand, right? People are like, yeah, maybe. Or, for whatever reason, just like calling, we call them at the right time, the right day. Bam, they're ready to do something. So we are going to give them a response, right? So what happens when someone says, what's your offer? Do I just keep going in the text? Do I give them a whole script on the next message, or what do I say? Great. Do you have a second to hop on a phone call? Literally, that is it. Okay.
What if they don't text back?
Oh, if they ghost you after that?
Yeah. Do you just call them, or what do you do?
You just
Oh,
call
what
them.
up?
Yo, what's up?
What up, guys? You see, we're bringing the crowd. We're shutting down the other air meet like 30 minutes ago.
I know people are coming in hot from the air meet.
Guys, thank you so much. 700 people in here right now. We had 1,800 people on the air meet just a little bit ago for literally the whole 2 hours.
I hopped on briefly and I saw that you guys were getting a deal from like Zolan.
Yeah, we're buying it's going to be an Airbnb in Scottsdale. It'll be a good one.
Crazy.
What I'm doing, check this out. So I want to create my first NFT because everybody keeps saying like, do an NFT, do an NFT. I'm like, NFTs are stupid because there's no utility behind them, right? Like, what do I do with an NFT? Well, what I decided is anybody that comes to the Clever Summit, I'm going to give partial ownership to that Airbnb through an NFT. And the main reason I'm doing that is because one, why the freak not? And secondly, it's because I want to learn how to I have a developer I'm talking to that's going to create the smart contract and the coins and all that kind of stuff. And I want to learn how to do it because Cody and I have a multifamily fund that we're working right now. And the first fund is just going to be, investors coming in with cash and it'll go into the fund. The second or third fund, I'm currently talking to Mauricio, our securities attorney, about allowing us to raise capital through an NFT rather than through just straight cash, which will be cool. So just trying to learn new things. And so anyway, should be fun. The deal that we just bought will end up, everybody will get a little small portion of the ownership of it that come to the Clever Summit.
Insane. That's so freaking cool.
I'll post a link in there, and I'll post a link in the comments for that. Let me see here, because I think
it's a very ugly link, guys.
Out.
It's a pn120.is or it's an ugly ass link. It's the most ugly ass link I ever did.
Pause the video.
Make sure get out your pencil and paper and write this down.
So here's what's going on. So for Clever Summit, we're opening for Robert Kiyosaki, and while I'm on stage, I'm going to be announcing the person who wins the challenge where I move to their town and become their partner for 30 days. And so in order for you to win that, you have to be physically at the Clever Summit. I'm not going to be like, all right, so Tim Smith, come on up to the stage. Oh, wait, Tim Smith didn't come to Clever Summit. You know what I'm saying? Like we're not going to do that. We're not going to play that game. So we are going to announce the winner through a randomizer on stage. Whoever uses my link, Nikki from Clever Investor, is going to send me the link or send me the list of everybody who uses my link. And not Jamil's link, my link. And whoever uses my link is going to be in the randomizer for the 30-day challenge. I'm going to announce it right there on stage. And then July 1st to August 1st, I'm going to move out and live in their town and build their business for them. My goal is this. What I was thinking is I was like, yeah, I could do a wholesale business for them, right? And just do wholesale. But here's what I'm thinking about doing. I think I create 5 boxes that I have to check. I have to 1, do a wholesale deal. 2, I have to do a sub 2. 3, I have to do a seller finance. 3, I have to get a fix and flip under contract. And 4, and then 5, I get a multifamily deal under contract and funded for them with private money. Might only be a 4-plex, might be a 6-plex, might be whatever, but I have 30 days to do all of that in that random market.
Insane.
Amazing.
Within 30 days.
People that go, how do I win? How do I win? Guys, you win by coming to Clever Summit. It's going to be the most epic. It's going to be basically a sub 2 reunion. Hundreds and hundreds of students are coming to this thing. It is going to be so epic. Cody, I know you're coming. Matt, I don't know if are you coming? You gonna be able to make it with the baby and everything?
I'm going to. My wife's birthday is the 23rd. We have a wedding on the 22nd, and we're doing my kid's birthday on the 24th.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
So I am going to be moving all that around, probably go to the wedding, and then I'll be up there.
Love it. Yeah. Laura's birthday is on the 22nd. And I'm like, you're coming to an event for your birthday.
Yeah,
my dad's 50th birthday is on the 23rd. So I'm like, I'm probably going to go and then fly home. Or maybe I'll just fly my dad out to Vegas too. I don't know.
Why not? Have your dad come, dude. Your dad can meet Robert Kiyosaki.
My wife's like, we already got the cabana for his birthday. I'm like, we can get another weekend.
There's more cabanas. There's only one last Clever Summit.
Exactly.
Yeah, it really is. I keep teasing Cody Sperber. We're in a group chat with like Chris Krohn and Ryan Pineda and Kiyosaki and all these people. We're on this group chat. And Cody keeps saying stuff about whatever. And I go, well, dude, yeah, we got to do it big for your second to last Clever Summit. He's like, no, bro, I'm retiring. This is it. I'm like, yeah, man, it's your second to last. It's amazing. He's like, no, I'm done. This is it. Stop saying that. So I'm going to try and get the whole audience while I'm on stage to chant, do another one, do another one, do another one. I think there's going to be standing room only, to be honest.
Get DJ Khaled to come out on stage, like at the end, like when he's about to shut it down.
Another one. We have Big Boy's son, Bamboo Patton. Big Boy's son, Bamboo Patton, is going to be coming out, and he'll be my guest. His dad, unfortunately, is not going to be able to make it, but Bamboo will be out there. Bamboo, or his dad, Big Boy, has a TV show on A&E as well, so we've been collaborating behind the scenes. And there are some really amazing people coming out to this freaking event. Guys, we have 700 people basically in this Zoom, right? Not this Zoom, this YouTube Live. And I came in and basically hijacked this. I'm very sorry, guys. Let's get back to the business at hand. But do me a favor. Is it really only 1,500 people? Yes, it is really only 1,500 people. And from what I understand, there are like 1,350 tickets sold there, and it's in 40 something days. It will be completely oversold, 100%. Okay. All right, Matt and Cody, I'm sorry. I'm gonna be here, but I'm gonna take myself off the screen so you guys can keep doing what you're doing.
Let's do it.
Wait,
where were we?
We're back. I don't know. I think we're on step 4, but wow, that's going to be a ton of fun, man.
It's going to be awesome. I have, when Pace sent me the dates, I'm like, I have the COO Alliance, that their mastermind that I just joined. They meet the 21st and 22nd. So I'm like, I'm going to fly from that event to Vegas to be there. It's all the things stacking up, but
yes. And same thing for me. I'm like, okay, those dates, April's pretty busy. Maybe it's the weekend. I'm not. Wedding 22nd, Mallory's birthday 23rd, Baylor's second birthday party 24th. I'm like, oh my God. But we're gonna make it happen because that's what we do. That's gonna be a ton of fun. There's gonna be a lot of people there.
Yes, I love it. Some people are asking about where's the link? Pace, you want to post that in the comments again? Here we go. If you want to post it one more time, Pace.
Everybody, I'm here. I just know Matt and Cody are going through steps 1 through something on texting, and they're going through scripts on how to reach out to sellers. And the more I'm on the screen, the more I want to talk. And so I'm in the background. I'm chilling. I'm answering stuff in the side comments, but you will not see me. I'm just getting the comments answering questions. Okay, guys?
Bam. I love it. So we were actually on step 4, Cody, where we were talking about reaching back out to sellers. So people have responded to your text message. We've done step 1 through 3. You guys have gotten to the point where you've already sent out text messages. You can manage them. You can get back to them in a timely fashion. Again, if you work a 9-to-5 job or you have time commitments, don't send a bunch of text messages and then not respond to them the whole entire day or for long periods of time. You want to be able to get back to them in a timely fashion. If you do have time constraints, but you have the budget, it might just make sense to have a virtual assistant to manage this part for you. But ultimately, these people are getting responded to. And what the response looks like after someone says a mixture of, what's your offer? I want X amount of money. Or, I only sell to people I can talk to on the phone. Or whatever that may say, okay, there's some gray area. This is a potential. This is an opportunity. We don't call it a lead until I get them on the phone. Okay? So after they responded to one of those things that I feel, okay, I think it warrants a conversation, perfect. Okay, sounds good. What's your offer? What I will say is, I don't know. Do you have a quick second to hop on a phone call? Would love to talk more. right? Literally, that's the response. Everything goes to a phone call. And on that phone call, I will further vet the lead. I've seen plenty of people go through and get a lot of leads. Like they start having these long conversations with homeowners via text. Sure, I'm not saying that doesn't happen, but it's more of an exception, not the rule, right? The rule of thumb is to get them on the phone so you can vet them to see if you even have the real seller, right? Somebody throws a good number at you and the house is worth 200 and they say they want 75K. You're like, oh my gosh, this is great. Easiest deal in the world. And you get them on the phone and say, yeah, I was just wasting your time, right?
Yes.
But the idea
100%.
is I get them on the phone so we can further vet them to make sure they're an actual lead.
Yes. And one of the things too that you want to be looking at is you want to get on the phone with them as soon as possible. It's kind of like speed the lead. Like the faster you can get on the phone with them, the better likelihood you're going to be able to have a meaningful conversation. Obviously, you want to remove the people as quickly as you can from, prospect to, suspect to prospect, right? Like you don't want to be trying to just do everything through the text message. One of the things that I see people make a mistake of is they try too hard to continuously text and ask more questions. Well, how's the house? What's the bed bath count? What's the condition? Why are you selling? Like the more you're texting, the more you're shooting yourself in the foot over and over again. You need to get that to the phone as soon as possible.
Right. Because at any point in time in that text conversation, the seller can just stop responding. Right.
Yep.
When they're on the phone, they literally have to hang up. Right. When they're on the phone, and that's most people don't want to hang up on people. Right. They're at least having a conversation. They don't want to be rude. I think most, human beings as just just the way we communicate with each other, we don't want to be rude with each other, but it's just so easy for a seller just all of a sudden go dark. Boom. Nothing there. Right. So again, get them on the phone call, because the longer you keep it on the text, the more outs you're giving that seller to just stop responding.
So I want to address something that that Medium Wave Dave, shout out to Medium Wave Dave, freaking awesome guy. He's saying you'd be surprised how many people we get that won't pick up. They only want to text. So here, the reason that we're sharing this, Dave, is we don't want people to use just texting only as an out to never get on the phone with someone and have a real conversation to try to drive this deal forward. We internally have sellers that we do go back and forth via text for a while, and it literally gets down to, sometimes some of the negotiation of what they want via text, because that's what they prefer. So while that does definitely happen, the reason we want to, just address this is, yes, exactly like Dave said, you're setting good habits. We're trying to give you guys good habits. We don't want you to be lazy and only text and use that as your crutch. We want you to have conversations with these people, or at least get it to the point where somebody on your team or somebody maybe helping you close the deal is having that conversation. So that's just the caveat to that, guys.
Bam. Exactly. So that's step 4, right? You've already set it up. You had your onboarding. That was step 1. Step 2, we went through. You guys set up your SMS templates. And again, we're going to give you guys those templates that we use for realtors and for direct to seller. We're going to put those on a spreadsheet, and we'll add those to Pace's website. If you guys are cool with it still, I think that'll be great for you guys. Are like, I don't know what to put in these messages. What should I put in my 10 templates? We'll get everyone for Sunday service. We'll get those templates. And we'll make sure that Pace will have it on his website so you guys can download it there.
What's Pace's website? It's pacemorby.com, right?
Yep.
Perfect.
pacemorby.com. And then after you guys go there, you can download all that. Obviously, there's not just templates. If you guys haven't already gone there, there's contracts, there's scripts, there's recordings, there's all kind of stuff. So that'll definitely be there, right? And then step 3, you set up your there you go. Hey, that's on the members only section. So
our Pace onlyfans.com/Pace Morby. OnlyFans.
That's up to. I love it.
Dave, just something real quick, guys. Dave's just dropping some good nuggets in here. Make sure to alter the templates a little bit from what we send you, because otherwise the carriers are going to see a million of the same template going out, and there's going to be issues with deliverability. Once again, Those are a framework, a blueprint to kind of go off of. You make your own customizations on those templates, but that'll give you something to start with.
Bam. Exactly. So after you guys did that, step 3 was creating your first campaign. Okay. The onboarding there at Batch will help you do that as well if you don't know how to do it. Remember keeping that good rule of thumb of sending to 100 to 125 texts per hour, no more than that for one person, so that way they can get back in a timely manner. We based our numbers off 1,000 texts per day. Now, some of you guys want to scale that back if you're just getting started, or maybe you want to scale it up depending on your budget. We just kept it easy math for you guys. Okay. Go back to that. It's here in the comment section. Cody was gracious enough to write all that out for you guys. Step 4 was to push potential leads to phone calls. We don't call them leads. They are potential leads until I can further vet them to make sure I indeed have the right person that I'm talking to. I would really hate
until proven otherwise.
Bam, exactly. I would really hate to have a whole conversation with someone and I think it's a deal and they're like, yeah, send me a contract, and then it's a litigator, right? So let me get them on the phone. I want to talk to these people. So that is step 4. And then after you guys have got them on the phone and they are indeed a lead, as in, yeah, no, I definitely want to, we definitely want to sell. I don't know when, right? And you further vet that lead based on the 4 pillars. So if you guys that are watching, what's the 4 pillars, guys? 4 pillars: condition, price, timeline, motivation, right? When I'm on the phone, I'm trying to get the 4 pillars. That's it. Text message lead says, what's your offer? Hey, do you have a second to get on the phone? Sure thing. Give them a call. Okay, perfect. So if you were to sell, like, how soon were you hoping to do this? 30 days, next 30 years? Like, how soon were you hoping to do this? Okay. So you would sell in the next 30 days. Got it. And if we were able to do something in the next 30 days, like, how much were you hoping to get? Okay, you want X amount of money. Got it. And I mean, as far as like the house is concerned, it seems like a great place. What's got you really looking at selling? Well, I need to accomplish X, Y, and Z. Perfect. Right. And I got everything I need to know about the property. What I'm going to do is I'm going to submit this over to our property specialist. They're going to give you a call within the hour and we'll see if there's something we can do. Okay. Short, quick, simple conversation. I'm just trying to get my 4 pillars. I got them. Great. I'm going to push it into my system as a lead and I will have a further conversation. Now, if it's just you guys and your solopreneurs, take the pressure off. You're not closing them on the first call. You're not getting a contract on the first call. I'm just trying to see if this is indeed a suspect or if this is a lead. Okay. Mm-hmm. And once I figure out that this is a lead, I will set myself up for a further call if it's just me. If this is a virtual assistant doing my text messages at Start Virtual, guess what? They can respond to text messages and they can say, you know what? Let's just hop on the phone. Virtual assistant gets on the phone with them, gets her 4 pillars. Perfect. I'm going to have Cody give you a call within the hour. Does that sound good? Maybe in the next 20 minutes. Awesome. Right? And the virtual assistant will set you up on that next conversation. Right? Take the pressure off. You're not closing them on the first call. And that's how you do it, guys.
So just referencing on that, like Mike was asking, if I have a VA doing text and they get a good lead, what's the logistics between the handoff of the call? So is it really just that simple of like, hey, like, you know, gathering the information like you said, and then just teeing up for, you know, say if it's Mike, for example, teeing up Mike to give him a call back? Or is there anything, and do I need to know any other ninja skills to do that? Or is that pretty straightforward?
That's it, Mike. I mean, the crazy thing about this business, it is simple. It is so simple because guess what? Simple scales, right? There's not a sophisticated script. There's not and I think this is something that I thought early on too. I thought I was missing something. Did you ever feel like that, Cody? Did you ever feel like you were missing something from the people that were doing deals?
Yeah, like you feel like you're like these people in like a corner over here, like, you know, hiding their secrets of like, oh, like, you know, we can't let our secrets get out of like our special lists, our special marketing campaigns, our special way of talking to sellers, our special way of closing deals, our special way of like running that transaction to close successfully. I used to think that I was the only one that had title issues on damn near half the deals that I do. But then I just realized that's the avatar of the people that we deal with generally. Yeah. So there's no, you know, reiterating this for those of you that are listening, you know, with this in your background, there is no special list. There is no special marketing channel. There is no special ninja, way to, convince somebody to sell to you. There are processes to follow, and, a flow of ways to follow, and, little things that are going to help you get, move along maybe a little bit faster, but it's just doing the basics over and over and over again. Like, think about this. This is something I think about when, like, doing Sunday service. Like, oh my gosh, how many times have we talked about generating leads and like text marketing or different other forms of marketing? Like, so many times I can't even count. But one of the things that I think about is comedians. They, when they go on tour, they have like their little bit of like, maybe like, I don't know, 30 jokes. I don't know how many jokes that they have, but they have their bit of like 20, 30 different jokes. And they go tell that joke in Atlanta, those jokes in Atlanta, everybody dies laughing. They get paid a bunch of money. They go tell that joke in Phoenix, Arizona, everybody dies laughing. They get paid a bunch of money. They go tell that joke in Houston, Texas, everybody laughs. They get paid a bunch of money. The recurring theme there is that they just are doing the same thing over and over and over and over again consistently over time, and they get paid a bunch of money. That's the same thing that happens in your real estate business as you get down, like, just like the comedian, they go the first time they go to tell jokes or do stand up, they almost pee themselves because they're so scared the first time they're trying to tell the joke. They tell it out of order, they screw it up, somebody boos them off stage, and then they're like, I am an idiot. But after multiple times of practicing that, just like you practice when you're talking to people on the phone and, messing up some of the things within your marketing, you get better. And then once you get it down, you just keep doing it. You just have to keep doing it over and over again. It's the same
over and over and over.
Yeah.
The simple stuff, man. It's, again, that saying, Jim Rohn, it's easy to do and it's easy not to do, right?
Yep.
So that just comes down to consistency. So when it cowe'll answer it one more time. When a VA gets someone on text and then they pick it up and they say, you know what, I'm going to give this person a phone call. They pick up the phone call. They get those 4 pillars. The end of that call is they set it up, Mike, however you want it. If you work a 9-to-5 job, then Mike might not be able to call anybody till 5:30. So that VA will say, you know what, my business partner, my property specialist, Mike, he's going to give you a call at 5:30. Does that work for you? Like, whatever your preference is. I'm a big fan of calling them as soon as you can, but if you have time constraints, then your virtual assistant will work around those time constraints, right? But it's a simple pass off to, you know what, there might be something we can work out here. I'm going to push you over to Mike. He's our property specialist. He would love to get on a call with you to learn a little bit more about what you're hoping to do and see if we can do something together, right? That is the conversation your virtual assistant has, pushes them over to you. And then from that point, it is our job, and in this case, your job, Mike, to convert on that lead. Does that make sense, guys? So that is step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? So step 4 was getting the VA or you getting on the phone, getting the 4 pillars. Step 5 is getting that push through your process. And if you have a virtual assistant, you're the next step, right? They set that up for you.
100%. Oh! I'm reading some of these comments. Some of you guys are making me laugh. Mike,
what is it?
I heard there is a secret list and a secret zip code that nobody knows about, but has top buyers, no wholesalers, just willing buyers with landlines.
Hey, set me up.
Yo,
well, you gotta go down to a recorder's office. You gotta go down to a recorder's office. You pay somebody under the table. They have a list.
For those that are asking about Start Virtual, if you have a budget in your business, obviously having virtual assistants to help you do some of these things are great. The most successful people we find that, we see that go over to Start Virtual, they have a budget, they're working on scaling their business. That's typically who we see have the most success. If you're just really getting started, but you don't have a budget, I wouldn't suggest going and doing that. I also wouldn't suggest doing like direct mail. Like, there's a lot of things I wouldn't suggest you do if you don't have a budget. But if you have a budget, startvirtual.com, the virtual assistants there can definitely help you out with this. Matt.
And yes, they're trained to do it. So I saw some of you guys like, are the VAs at Start Virtual trained to do this? Guys, Start Virtual was the baby of this all happening, right? Yeah. Really, in the beginning, we had no intention of having a virtual assistant business, but based on our success, we're like, hey, I think a lot of people can benefit from having something very similar. right? So literally our best practices, the stuff that we talk about on a week-to-week or a day-to-day basis, is the same stuff that our VAs are trained on, right? So absolutely, they're trained on doing this process. This is what I recommend. Heck, we've been doing a bunch of one-on-ones, and this is the stuff that we've been communicating.
100%. Awesome. Well, I don't think I have anything else. I know we went, into granular into some of the stuff here. If you guys want us to talk about lead generation more, happy to do it. Let us know, guys. Let us know if you want us to talk more about lead generation and different things. If you've been here before, you notice we talk about those things and we, say the same thing because it's the same. It's the same thing that, we're doing. I know some people are saying, what if no budget? Maybe we could talk a little bit about on another Sunday service, how to do that. Let's see.
I'm pretty sure Pace did a deal in 2 hours today that didn't cost him any money.
Yep.
So if you're on that air meet, that was the answer for that one.
100%. Medium wave Dave says my world would fall apart without my VAs. Mine would as well, and I believe Matt's would as well. Like once you get great virtual assistants, it's kind of like the like an eclipse. Like just like an eclipse is like over the sun and it's like pitch black, and then it like opens up and it's like everything is light. You're like, oh my gosh, like what have I been
what have I been missing?
Yeah, it's like I've been missing out on this. If you have a terrible VA, obviously you're not going to have the eclipse moment. The eclipse is like stuck.
Bro.
But when you get a good virtual assistant or have
for real, I feel like the folks who say virtual assistants don't work or you're wasting your money with virtual assistants are the people who had bad VAs. Because literally VAs have changed my life. Anything that I do or like cool talking about lead gen, Matt Beard isn't picking up the phone. I've never made a single cold call, but they make me look really good. Right. And I owe it to my virtual assistant. So guys, like there is something to be said. And I know Dave feels the same way. My world would fall apart without my VAs. You get good people, man. It changes the game.
100%. Just like you could have bad, people that you hire locally, wherever you're at, you could always, have those experiences. So Start Virtual helps you avoid that. Awesome. So no budget and YouTube links. Let's see what else we got here. Awesome. I think that's all I got tonight, Matt. Anything else that you want to, close out with when it comes to texting or anything that we talked about tonight?
Yeah, guys. So real quick, the takeaways, we going through step 1 through 5. If you're going through Batchleads, I think the best part about that is they have the account managers that'll help you set up all the technical stuff. Because a lot of us, we came into this to buy real estate or be real estate investors and actually talk to sellers. We didn't try to figure out software and all the little clickable items that you're going to probably mess up on your own. That's why they have people there to help you set up your business, and please do the onboarding. So that's a really big one. Go back through these steps. Again, getting everything set up properly is only going to be a great launching pad. Don't try to rush through it because you're going to spend 3, 4, 5, 6 months trying to go back and fix your mistakes from the beginning. So just make sure you do it right the first time. And then again, the key to text messaging is doing it consistently. Don't start it and stop it. Start it and stop it. Have a game plan. Make sure that whatever number that you're texting, whether that's could be 5 texts a day. I don't know what your budget is, but make sure you can do it consistently because okay. So the big takeaways here is just making sure you go back, making sure you pick something you can be consistent with and you can respond to the people in a timely manner and get them on the phone. And I promise you, SMS marketing is going to be one of the cheapest means of getting in touch with the people you're hoping to get in touch with. And I don't know how much longer this is going to be around, but it's still around today, and you can do something about it today.
100%.
That's my takeaway.
Matt, thank you so much. Thank you so much for being on here. Guys, if you haven't already, you could jump over to Matt Beard's YouTube channel, subscribe. He always has a lot of content around having success with virtual assistants. He is an owner of startvirtual.com. So you can check him out. He has a lot of good stuff there and all things, real estate wholesaling, having success with virtual assistants, the do's and the not to do's with them. There's a lot of great content there. Matt, thank you for being on here tonight. And guys, for those of you that missed it at the beginning, here on Sunday service, we are now officially sponsored by Batchleads, which is pretty freaking cool. We've been doing this show for, almost 3 years now. So you can go to batchleads.io/Sunday and get set up on Batchleads if you have not already. And they reached out to us because we kept pulling lists and giving them away. And they're like, hey, like, do you guys want to like get a discount on that? Because like you're just giving lists away to people that you're paying for. And I'm like, yes, please. That would be sick. So the sponsorship was born. So that's what I want to say on that. Guys, with that, we are on Spotify and iTunes. You can check that out, anytime if you miss a Sunday service. We appreciate you being here. This wouldn't be what it is without each and every one of you. We truly hope that, with the information that we give you every Sunday, that you're able to not just absorb it, but then go and take action on it and, make a difference and make a better impact in your personal life and your family. So awesome. Happy Sunday. Have a great week, everybody. And we'll see you next week.